Welcome again to Goal Attack. We're at the Launceston Silverdome for 2 round 3 matches in the 96 MOBIL League. I'm Steve Rebilliard for ABC Sport. Well, later in the program, Fremantle and Melbourne will hit the court, but first up, it's Queensland against Garville. Well, both these teams have already incurred a loss here in Launceston, but it should be said that Garville's loss was to the team which is emerging as the favourite for the competition, Melbourne. So no disgrace there. And Anne, I find it hard to tip against Garville for this one.
Well, I think you're right. For Queensland to win, it would definitely be an upset. And whilst Garville have had the loss to Melbourne, I think they'll be smarting from that. They haven't found form to date, but they've got time to run it in, and I think there's just too much experience and too much calibre in their playing staff not to back them for this game.
MOBIL League experience heavily favours this Garville lineup. Borlase and Avellino, of course, are Australian teammates. Abbott, Grant and Pearce are a long-standing mid-court trio. And Peter Squire has blended in well beside Robin Gill. Deborah Miller quite rightly sees little reason to tinker with this 7. Centre Danny Grant has been unlucky to have the likes of Dalwood and O'Donnell ahead of her at national level. She's been close to Australian selection many times. She's mastered all aspects of the demanding centre court game, and her fitness allows her to put them all to good use. Well, can Queensland upset Garville? These 7 have to think so. Tollinaire has the height over opposing defenders, and so Van der Waal, Peterson and Gorringe need to make the most of that advantage. If Garrett and Kennedy can rebound strongly and the mid-court look after their possession, they'll worry Adelaide. Well, a couple of heavy falls last week had nursing student Michelle Tollinaire tending her own injuries, but she's bounced back, ready to use her full 194 centimetres. She's already enjoyed national under-19 and 21 selection, and this year's MOBIL League is vital in her development. Garville in the silvery grey, black and red for Queensland. And last year this match was decisively Garville's 80-33, one of the biggest results of the year. So what can Queensland do about it in 96? Avellino to Borlase.
Some tough work from the Queensland defence combination to open. Garrett spoiling the first and pressure on the second play by Garville. So I think Queensland well aware that if they can really put the pressure on in defence.
Sharon Burge and Donna Clark, our umpires for this match. Gorringe to Peterson. Kennedy over the top of Borlase, well, around her really. Van der Waal looking for Tollinaire.
Both sides forcing the play early on instead of working their way in.
Pearce, Abbott in space. Borlase looking for the first of the match. The contact is against Garrett. So a minute and a half gone, and Borlase can't write this goal into the book just yet. I'm keen to. We're away. Melissa Gorringe, centre pass. Van der Waal. So we'll see how Queensland make their way to the circle, if they can penetrate it comfortably against Squire and Gill. Van der Waal, good drive along the base.
Oh, and really using the 3 seconds.
And then some.
Yeah.
Melanie Edgar, Tracy Liso, Leanne Matthews, the backup players for Queensland.
It was Liso who last ran at wing defence for Queensland. They've really been pulling players out to fill that spot. Clark, their 3rd option in the series. So the wing defence bib getting a real workout.
Rebound from Kennedy.
Wing attack.
Pushed on quickly by Clark and Gorringe. Back to Carly Clark. Van der Waal looks over the top, but goes to Gorringe. Now Tollinaire. Contact was against Squire on Van der Waal at the post.
Good shot there of Melissa Gorringe, and I've been bribed by the Queensland bench to mention her 12-month-old boy, Caden, at home. Hi to Caden. We don't normally do Cheerios, Caden, so that shows you just how much Queensland's paying me, Steve.
Van der Waal.
Just thinking, if Queensland can make use of Tollinaire, and they just spoilt an opportunity then, if they can work their mid-court to stand up to Grant and Abbott and Pearce and make use of Tollinaire, Garville do not have the legs to get up and stop well-fed passes to Tollinaire.
Offside centre.
Gorringe offside. Avellino must pass, can't shoot off from that infringement.
Well, the idea was right. She swung attention to the pass outside before putting it back, but she placed it wrongly.
Avellino now after the turnover.
Oh, the base. The run to the post from Avellino.
Good call and placement of the pass. Not quite the finish yet. Ball lays from that range. Oh dear, a few nervous ones to start.
And you heard a groan as it left her hands. It was well off target, so a shaky start from Garville. I thought they might have come out and really punched it home. I guess from Queensland's point of view, they're hitting a Garville that really isn't hitting their straps early on, and it's all there for the taking. I mean, we said the upset was unlikely, but Garville has not been convincing.
But they need to convert when they've got it. And another turnover means it's back with Garville.
Avellino defended off court by Garrett.
Four and a half minutes gone. And even if scrappy start to the match. Ball A's. Kelly Venice on the right there. Leah Torsen. Couple on the Garville backup bench.
Goal third.
Ball A's with 2 from 5. Not often you see that sort of opening stat from her.
Tollenaire. Oh, the post got a wobble to it, but not enough to upset Tollenaire.
Spanish right wing defense.
Grant.
Contact, goalkeeper. Pass a shot.
On the hand against Garrett.
Avellino looking sure.
Haven't seen Garville swing their shooting combination much. This is the first time they've reshuffled the way they start. They've got Ball A's up the front with Avellino back. The last few seasons, we're very used to them changing it frequently throughout a match, but new coach Deborah Miller, and she's elected to have the same run throughout the game. Sweet work here from Garville. Timing good. The dodge from Avellino.
This movement of Ball A's and Avellino was an option left unexplored by Deborah Miller in their last match, in the loss to Melbourne. Ball A's.
Avellino holding Garrett off well then as she juggled the ball. Very strong positioning from her. She's put up 3 from 4.
Peterson. Got a couple of kids at home as well.
Carissa, well-known name. That's this about to be 6-year-old and 4-year-old. Name escapes me, but I know Carissa. She plucked that name out, knowing there's a well-known netballer. Quite likes her style.
Good centre court player.
Yeah. Oh, nice pass there from Vanderwall, setting it up through Peterson. Good shot.
Queensland rallying a little here with 4.5 to go, first quarter. Garville threatened to blow this open in the first quarter.
Game's really being disrupted by so many penalty calls on contact, not just in the circles, but through the middle as well.
Garville then not having it all their own way in this first quarter after they threatened to do so. Avellino, nice work with Grant. Finish not there.
But it was smart work. It was a slick feed from Abbott just to give her the space and the edge on Garrett to get the run on, and she used Grant well. Still need the shot.
Cheeky around the post work from Avellino. Now this is an important goal, I think. Possession to convert for Queensland. A lot of whistle, as you say, Anne, in this first quarter.
Well, Ball A's knew she had to get across to offer on the same side as the ball. Both teams with quite crowded approaches at their circle the last couple of runs down court. And another contact call.
Well done. Just waited for the defender to jump and fall again, and the ball was clear to Vanderwall.
Well, Vanderwall should exploit the fact that there'll be a lot of attention to Tollenaire with her height, and she should get the moves happening.
3 the difference, 3 left in the quarter. Avellino.
Contact, goalkeeper, pass or shot.
Garrett caught a couple of times for his zealousness over the ball in slapping or tapping.
Vantage break, wing defence. Great pass, Queensland.
Cheap turnover to Queensland. Clark, Gorringe, Peterson. We saw Gorringe in the last match against Fremantle have to go off, and initially we thought it was tactical, then we saw her receiving attention. Now she's all right. I wonder if she can go the distance.
Yeah, I was talking with Janelle Peterson before the match, and she said Gorringe has had problems with an ankle for the past couple of weeks, so she needed some treatment. No doubt she's been worked on in the interim. Quite obviously, Gorringe the preferred centre for Queensland.
Oh, missed timing there from Van der Waal. It was meant for Gorringe. But she'd stopped on a run, so Garville with a chance to...
Well, they've got the numbers with Kennedy out. She had a stab well deep down court. Pays for it. It's another opportunity for Garville to go on with it. A couple of times in the quarter they've split the margin, but they've allowed Queensland back into the game, and this being earmarked as just another one of those opportunities. It was for the chance to go on, and could be Queensland pegging it back again.
A bit choked on that far side, and no easy way up the court for Queensland. The defence from Garville is solid. Peterson.
Close marking from Peter Squire. She really wore Van der Waal all the way down court then as Van der Waal tried to find space, but Van der Waal putting up with it.
Queensland digging in here. Last minute, first quarter. A touch from Robin Gill. Takes the oomph out of the drive to the post. Squire busy, but Van der Waal had the position and the shot. Queensland then need the big defensive effort here just to deny Garville a 3-goal lead at quarter time. Avellino, though, has time for the shot, even to reposition. Well, they got a little confused between them, Borlase and Avellino. Now Borlase free. And the timekeeper's up. So Garville do that little bit of damage just inside the whistle. Nevertheless, a good effort from Queensland to get that close, or to remain that close after 15. So at quarter time, it's 15-12 in favour of Garville. So can Queensland show the resilience of the first quarter in the second? Pretty good effort to stick with Garville as they look for their first goal, second quarter. They were a little shaded in possession in the first quarter.
Garville, left side.
And Garville still down on their usual ability in goals. 6 from 8 for Avellino at 75%. Borlase down in the 60s with 9 from 14. Queensland really strong through their skipper, Amanda Van der Waal, at goal attack, 7 from 8, 87%. So she's been the most impressive on court to date. Tolinair, a little bit down in the 50s, 5 from 9, but opportunity there for her.
I think those stats might shake out a little as the match goes on. Avellino in her first 2 games, 65 and 79%. Borlase 84 and 75. I really would expect her to lift in the next 3 quarters. If she indeed needs to play them all, they may give Kelso a run. And Tolinair is usually better than the 50s. She's been shooting 71 and 86% in the loss to Fremantle. Van der Waal is pretty steadily in the 60s, so she might come down a bit.
Prophet of doom and gloom. I think it's a fine opening from her, and that's all we've got to go by. Drops another one in, and they certainly need both the shooters in the game if they're going to stay with Garville.
Don't get me wrong, I hope Amanda continues to shoot as well as she has. I'm just talking about trends here, statistics. Lies, damn lies and statistics.
Trendy kind of guy.
Garrett from the back for Queensland.
Been a lot of pressure on the Garville shooters. Opening stages of the centre quarters. Garrett paying close attention to Avellino.
And the Garville bench.
Play.
So it's Grant from the side to Pearce, who was unattended.
Frustration showing on the face of Avellino, but she doesn't shoot through it. I'm sure that one was going to drop for her.
Advantage obstruction, wing attack.
Kennedy's made a good contribution to this Queensland side, the imported player. Gill first to the spilt ball though.
And some double handling from Peterson. Fumbled, then directed it to Kennedy. And through the hands of Avellino, but an offside saves him, gives him a free pass just the top of the circle. A 2-on Borlase, as you'd expect, so Avellino runs it. Garville would do well to get off the holds which Avellino and Borlase have dug in on the last couple of players and just get their movement going, because I think with their movement and their speed they could really start to create the difference.
If it's horses for courses, Anne, can you think what might have been in Deborah Miller's mind deciding to play Avellino back against this Queensland combination?
No, I don't know that it's as much to counter Queensland possibly as to see if they can find something more in their attack line. And as we've said, both shooters are very comfortable swinging positions. And I thought Avellino started really to come through in the match against Melbourne, albeit that they lost.
Offside, Queensland centre, Garville. Garville free pass.
Grant. Mistake by Gorringe at the other end has given this turnover to Garville, and Avellino takes full toll.
Peter Squire puts into play. Grant does well to go over the top to find Borlase unattended, and a little slip pass to Avellino.
Contact centre. Queensland centre third.
Contact against Danny Grant on Janelle Peterson. Explains why the ball ended up out of court. Gorringe. Picked up by Squire. Having a lot of trouble getting it into the circle now. Queensland. Not a problem for Garville though at the other end. Quickly taken. Peterson. Van der Waal.
Oh, nice swing from Van der Waal. Looked like it was going to the top of the circle. Good deception on the pass. Draws the contact, not the intent.
Well, it deserved a bit better. It's a turnover though, and an 11-goal lead could soon be 12. 4.5 minutes left until half-time.
Obstruction shooter, Garville on top.
Gill to Squire to Grant.
Oh, again, Borlase has opened the top of the circle, and Grant just looking for the back stop. Grant plugging some holes in the Queensland defence.
Borlase and Grant. The speed is fantastic from Danny Grant.
And what a difference a quarter makes. The speed here from Grant, and again they explore the air. Avellino to finish.
Band obstruction centre.
Peterson to Tollenaire. Van der Waal should score from here.
Contact, goal defence. Band goal. Garville. Vantage, break, wing defence.
Garville continuing to build a good lead as we get to the last 3.5 minutes of the second quarter. The ball juggled, and with Garrett, now Clark, Gorringe, and Van der Waal. Tollenaire, top of the circle. Van der Waal.
Vantage, contact, wing.
Oh, that's
Great
a sweet shot.
Queensland.
Tollenaire puts it back to a skipper, steadies for a great shot.
Queensland. Garville, clear. Play.
15-7, Garville leading this quarter. Quite a turnaround in fortunes.
Nice reverse roll there from Avellino, and the shot to follow. She's put up something like 11 or 12 of Garville's goals in this quarter.
Goal defence, so good.
I think the way Garville have started all three of their matches must be of concern to the team and to coach Deborah Miller. They were sluggish against the AIS before pulling away at the end. Started poorly against Melbourne. Melbourne established a 7-goal lead, and that was the final margin. And again today against Queensland, 15-12, they led at quarter time. Not really enough against a side they'd expect to beat well.
Well, we watched their warm-up for the game off camera before coverage, and it was extremely relaxed. It was more play than solid, focused warm-up. Whether that was to just relax them and not overdo the focus, but it certainly wasn't designed to have a really sharp first quarter. In fact, some of it was worth shooting for the entertainment value alone at the post.
Easy cut out by Kennedy. Gorringe. Tollineer back out to Peterson, quickly onto Vanderwall. Ooh, Tollineer has it. It's a risky option. That's a better one.
Good feed from Gorringe.
Double.
Well, they work it around a bit. Gorringe holds it up, finds Tollineer popping out under the post.
Avellino pops in another, and 2-1. Garville outscoring Queensland in this second quarter. Just a matter of Garville switching on a bit earlier. I mean, when you see them play like this in the second quarter, you realise that they've sure got the game.
We've said that for a couple of games now, that they just haven't had the foot down, and they've been down a gear. And of course, the idea is to build across the series. But you must find a place in the semis. So once you've consolidated that. So more to come from this Garville side.
It's a 60-minute game, and has to be when you're playing teams that are of a standard near yours. One bad quarter cost them the game, I think, against Melbourne. It's not going to cost them here, I don't think, but it's still a worry. Avellino goals. And Queensland players still warming up. Melanie Edgar, Tracy Liso, Leanne Matthews. The options for Paddy Farrell.
And looked like they were giving attention to Melanie Edgar in goals then on the warm-up. Matthews, we saw at wing defence first round. Liso at wing defence in their last game.
So a good quarter for Garville as they kick the lead out to 34-22 over Queensland.
Definitely, I would like to talk to players. As I said, I haven't had a lot of experience umpiring them at this stage. I like to feel that I'd be approachable for the players, and I would like to learn from the senior players of things that I may need to improve on, or things that I might be good at.
Garville away then. Both teams have made some changes we'll tell you about in a moment or two. First of all, might look at the stats from that second quarter, and it doesn't make very pretty reading from a Queensland point of view. There's just not enough possession out.
No, only 14 shots at goal for Queensland, and Tollineer, while she shot 100%, just wasn't accessible to them, and she is no use to them unless she's available. 6 from 10 for their skipper, so you put the mocker on her, and she did slide down a bit to the 60%. For Adelaide Garville, though, Natalie Avellino earning her keep, 14 from 17, 82%. Borlase didn't dominate in the shooting, but she did in the accuracy, 5 from 5.
Avellino and Borlase have swapped, so Avellino out to goal attack, Borlase back to goal shooter. At the other end, Vanderwall's now joined in the shooting duties by Melanie Edgar, 23-year-old media and promotions trainee. Also on is Tracy Liso at centre, replacing Melissa Gorringe. I think this is our first look at Melanie Edgar and at this level.
Contact shooter.
We're at the wrong end of the court to see her yet. We'll watch how she goes. Liso, meant for Peterson, cut out by Josie Pearce. Avellino over the top for Abbott.
Advantage offside, send advantage contact wing.
Oh, Liso and Abbott are having a fine old stoush off the ball.
Queensland.
Liso now. Vanderwall got that from two defenders on either side. Edgar leaves it, makes herself available, screams for it, but it's for Van der Waal.
Thank you. Shooter instruction.
Melanie Edgar, and pointing out she played for the ACT in the MOBIL Challenge.
Goalkeeper.
Yeah, she has a background coming through the ranks
Garville.
at a state level, underage for the ACT, and was part of the ACT team that won the MOBIL Challenge. AIS scholarship holder 1991-92.
Contact goal shooter.
So that's when we would have seen her.
Yes. I was about to say to you, no, I've seen her, but I then couldn't think in what uniform I'd seen her, so I thought, no, I'm probably wrong.
Yeah, was it an under-21 nationals or?
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. I was trying to pitch the court and wear, quick hands from Avelina. And Garville starting to look like the Garville of old. The traditional switch of the shooters throughout the game. Grant running it through the middle. Bit of life left in the Adelaide side.
Clark and Lisa. Yeah, if they come through this with the win, I mean, 2 wins and 1 loss looks so much better than 1 win and 2 losses.
Oh, Gill
Here's
up there.
Edgar.
Sure, Gill feeling far more comfortable with somebody matched closer to her height.
Yeah, well, Melanie Edgar only 178 centimetres compared to Tolinair.
And Lisa picking that one well to Edgar.
Van der Waal's shot lips out for Robin Gill.
You know that Gorringe is carrying an ankle injury and they've tried to rest her throughout the games, bringing fresh legs on, but I was just thinking it's probably not a bad plot against Grant. He just can run all day.
Van der Waal leads out, make another player available. Oh! Put that down as the goal of the day.
Oh, she liked it.
Edgar didn't expect to get that.
Well, Lisa really puts Edgar on pressure, under pressure, as she extends her off the court. Quick thinking.
I haven't seen too many better than that in that situation.
Oh,
The fall out of court shot.
That's going to win the car.
Which car's that?
Your car.
Mike, thanks.
Viewers. It's a new viewer one. Actually, watching the replay, it looked like Lisa, in stumbling as she offloaded the ball, almost might have stepped, but we won't talk about that because it was pretty to watch.
It's on the board. Van der Waal.
And a comeback.
They need one. So 12 was the lead at half-time. Let's see what Queensland can do in this quarter. A couple of pairs of fresh legs out there.
I think Queensland at the moment are enjoying the movement that Edgar offers them, and it's a change of formula in their attack line. And she hasn't missed a beat, 2 from 2. Can ask for no more.
Abbott. Well, if Garville can't win this quarter, I would say...
Beautiful work from Kennedy. Sorry to interrupt you, but I can see you going for the pounce.
Yeah, Deborah Miller would be reluctant to put some of her young players on if Garville don't just kick this lead out to 15 or so.
Garville renowned for changing their lineup minimally, aren't they? Very rare that you see the 7 change.
Edgar, whoa. Lisa to Van der Waal. Good work rate today from Amanda Van der Waal. Really, the captaincy has possibly brought out the best in her.
Yeah, I think the work rate's been good. We've seen her open well in the matches, the last couple of matches. She had a really good first quarter in this game. And of course, with Tolinair, who is less experienced, she needs to engineer that circle and try and make use of Tolinair.
Big one over the top.
Whoa, again.
And a second one. Abbott.
Obstruction, goalkeeper, outside the circle.
Obstruction from Garrett.
But Garrett and Kennedy have the confidence to come out and disrupt the Garville attack line, and they'll need to really change the way it was swinging because Garville's starting to look comfortable. Oh, and Grant not in the centre circle then for the taking of the centre, and they've got to be wholly in, but she wasn't on that whistle.
Contact, goalkeeper.
Garrett, the contact, ball lays the goal.
Queensland. So
we've had 6.5 minutes in the third quarter. Queensland have come out full of enthusiasm after the long break. Edgar to van der Waal. Touch on it from Squire, but that was not a legal one.
Van der Waal confident that she would be granted a penalty pass or shot.
Contact, goal defence.
And it's promoted.
2 fakes and a goal.
Garville. Spanish break, Queen.
I think some players do become readable like that. It's almost expected that they're going to pump at least once or twice. I mean,
well, that's, of course, what defenders should sit back and watch when they have those rare occasions of spectating. Check the timing on the shot, because it does become a habit to most shooters to release on a certain amount of time. And certainly the fake for some is an automatic thing, and of course that's a bad habit. Your ability to vary the timing of the release is something good to have in your repertoire. Edgar Forstrate.
Contact, wing defence. Go to wing standing.
Grant. And Borlase feeling like she's being backed into by Garrett, and has just walked off the court in disgust.
Queensland.
Aveline on the shot. See Borlase there, the pressure from Garrett really wasn't too much to write home about.
Michelle Dendeka wants to come back to Mobile League this year, and talking to Mark Ango, the coach of Contacts, saying, you know, what is missing from the Garville lineup at the moment is Michelle's presence. I mean, regardless of her abilities as a defender, it's just the fact that she's on court does make teams think about, oh, well, she's out there.
It's a confidence thing for sure. And also she was captain, so it's a combination of captaincy and her ability as a defender. And it takes a while to get used to that type of a mission. But Garville obviously have to get on with the job of knowing they've got brilliant players, and they've got to look to those skills. Personnel changes.
Loose ball down this end, and Van der Waal takes it. Robin Gill might have done well just to let it go out of court, but mistimed the grab for possession. Step against Edgar. Touch over a minute left till 3/4 time. Contact against Liso.
Where you are, goal defence.
Squire to Pearce to Grant. Borlase over to Avellino. And number 49.
Queensland. Advantage, a distraction.
Edgar.
Advantage, contact,
Well
centre.
placed ball,
Contact,
scramble for it. Squire hands down, but it's for Van der Waal.
Garville.
Can Garville get 50 before the break? Not if they turn it over that easily.
It could well be a Queensland quarter if they can score off the turnover. And this is a chance.
Well taken, Van der Waal. If they're quick, Edgar, well, there's not even the timekeepers now getting up. Or
And her first miss of the quarter.
they'll have to be quick, Garville, and that won't help them, as Sharon Burge blows for 3/4 time, and it's a quarter narrowly won by Queensland. A good effort from them, and Garville lead at 49-38 at 3/4 time. Garville then in possession at the start of the final quarter. Should win it from here, but concentration needed for 15 minutes.
And those shooting stats looking quite healthy. 8 from 10 for Garville through Jenny Borlase when she went back at shooter. Avellino 7 from 8, 87%. So very sound stats for them. But Melanie Edgar really making a difference for Queensland. 8 from 9, 88%. And good work through Amanda Van der Waal as well. 12 attempts. She only put up 66%, but the opportunity there for them. So possession, a crucial factor for Queensland.
Yeah, 21 shots put up to 18, and they win the quarter 16-15.
Advantage, break, goal defence.
Grant, Abbott, Avellino, Borlase. It was that simple and that quick. And a 3-zip start to the quarter for Garville.
Untouched. Garville, goal third.
We've seen a few centre passes go untouched and instant turnovers. I think there's a little bit of argy-bargy going on in the transverse lines.
Is that technical talk?
Yeah, that's it. If you look in the rule book under contact, it's also called argy-bargy.
You mean there's a lot of close work off the ball?
Sure.
Sure. Borlase waiting for it to turn. Tension too close, so Avellino plays it her own way.
I think the smile on Peter Kennedy's face tells you she knows she was outdone there by Avellino. Natalie's got a few slick moves.
Well, nice work from Abbott then. She had good vision. She knew Borlase was other side of the court working.
Avellino pulls two
nice
out of the bag of tricks.
Abbott lets it fly to Borlase, and Avellino makes him look a little bit worse.
Six and a half minutes left in the game. It's Garville's. First and third quarters, they struggled to kick away from Queensland. Robin Gill invited to advance up the court a little.
Well, to her credit, she was really eyes to the court and to the positioning of the players.
She wasn't listening to the umpire. Avellino. Oh, Borlase. A little help from Garrett. She'll take it. Grant, Abbott, Borlase, Avellino. No, Kennedy.
Abbott's so quick to get onto the circle for the feed. She really does drive the circle well.
Peterson to Vanderwall. Edgar.
Guess who comes up with it?
In the circle.
Well, Edgar initially looked like she'd done well to get a couple of defenders going the wrong way. But it's started to fall apart, I'm afraid, for Queensland with just 5 minutes left.
Nellie Peterson's about the closest to the ground out on court, but that one just too low even for her. Never lifted off the floorboards. Yeah, a little bit of space created by the Avellino hips.
Nah, never.
Matt the Rat would say no, never.
Squire, Abbott. Avellino once more. Liso to Kennedy. Well, not a bad idea. We've not much to lose at this stage of the game.
Kennedy caught out of position. Avellino well back, about a third back. Had a lot of space now. Kennedy's caught her up. Kennedy's been caught not napping, but looking further downfield to try and pick off intercepts, but it's created a lot of space behind her, and it's left Garrett with the two Garville shooters roaming the circle area, which has been very dangerous when they've got the speed and the skills of Borlase and Avellino.
4 minutes for Garville to pick up another 5 goals and equal the highest score of the MOBIL League season so far. Melbourne down in Queensland 71-32. It's not a stat that Queensland would like to be involved in again. It's already a couple of big scores posted against them. But I do think that they've played considerably better than in their humiliation at the hands of Melbourne. They've scored another 10 goals themselves. They've shown us what Melanie Edgar can do. And of course they had an oh-so-narrow loss to Fremantle Pumas just by the 2. Edgar.
Garville throwing right side.
Yeah, Vanderwall was out of play and she got the touch to that, so it's Garville possession. 3 minutes now. 66-43, Abbott.
Goalkeeper contact, half or side. In the circle where the contact happens.
Natalie Avellino. Players getting a little tired perhaps. A couple of easy shots missed, a few loose passes.
Centre third.
And with the result no longer in question, Anne. A bit of the sting gone out of the game.
Oh, I think so. A patchy win for Garville. When they've been hot, they've been hot. In 2 quarters, all dominant. But the other quarters not convincing at all.
So they're the 2 good quarters are the ones they'll seek to remember and build on. Have a look at the tape and work out what they did well. Clark.
Obstruction wing.
Abbott a bit close. Says Donna Clark, umpire.
Obstruction, goalkeeper.
Fair bit of whistle on the way to that goal. Got to call it as they see it. Avellino, 1:50 to go. Abbott, Avellino, nice hands. Bad finish.
Happy feet, nice hands.
Yeah. Goal, thank you.
Queensland.
Liso takes it for Queensland. 90 seconds to go.
Double break.
Double break, says the umpire. So it's Van der Waal and Squire, with Squire victorious.
Queensland.
Too much air under that even for Borlase, who
Play.
is, by my reckoning, the tallest player in the court now, with Tollinaire now sitting down on the Queensland bench. Liso, Peterson. So Garville, prior to this match, defeating the Institute of Sport 59-50, but losing to Melbourne 56-49. So this is going to be 2 wins and 1 loss now. So Peterson feeding. And a shot. Oh, had a good look before dropping. It's all a little too late, though, for Queensland. Van der Waal, that's off. It's an air ball. Says she got touched.
Play.
The shooting hand touched. She was signalling to the umpire. Umpires don't really like being told what they should have seen.
Obstruction, goal defence outside the circle.
Timekeeper's up. This will be the last shot of the game. Borlase. A solid and comfortable win for the girls from Adelaide. Queensland put in a couple of solid quarters. The first, when they only lost it by 3, and the third quarter, which they actually won, but too much damage done in the second and fourth. A comfortable win for Garville in the end, 69-45. And Sargent is going to talk to Natalie Avellino.
Thanks, Steve. Well, Nat the Rat, a solid win. Looks good on the scoreboard. Feeling happier in the Garville camp?
Yeah, it was a lot better tonight. We had a lot more flow down the court. Our defence was good, and our attack just finished off, and we had some good plays today.
Even so, 2 quarters where you really let Queensland run with you. In fact, you lost the third by 1. Concerned about those lapses?
Yeah, I think you have to be, but we've had a few tough games in the past that we've been like that, but at least we know we can finish off, and we did that tonight, so we're pretty happy with the finish.
Now, the swing in the shooting section, yourself and Jenny changing for the start of this game. Reasoning behind that?
I had a bit of an injury going into this game, and I think it's just to give Jenny a chance to get out there and have a run, and at least we're lucky we can have a bit of variation in the shooting circle.
That's true, and in fact this is the first time this season we've seen you swing it during the game. We're very used to watching that change throughout the game, so the pattern changes. Is that something we're going to see more of?
New coach, new ideas and new positions, so it just depends how the game goes. If it's going well with me being out and Jenny back, that's the way we'll stay. If it's not, well, we'll give it a go and change it.
Well, we saw patches of Garville, still more to come, is that fair to say?
Absolutely. We started a bit late this year in the season, and we know we've got to finish it off at the end of the MOBIL League, and that's when we have to put it in, and that's all when it counts.
Well, a lot more to come, and I think we'll see you run it in. Best of luck, Natalie.
Thanks, Anne.
Well, that's a 24-goal victory to Garville, a good one. Nevertheless, an improved performance from Queensland after their round 1 capitulation to Melbourne. Time now to hear again from Aussie centre Carissa Dalwood, who's passing on her knowledge to us this season. Here's another of Carissa's clues.
Lob is also a very common pass in netball. Start with the ball up on your shoulder, you bring it up behind your ear so it's in this position. Once it's at its highest, you release it, following through with your wrist and also your opposite foot. Make sure that the ball doesn't stay in the air for too long, because it gives the opportunity for the defender to come through and intercept.
Now to the battle of the Pumas, Fremantle and Melbourne. And Melbourne have to start as favourites. They meet on neutral territory, but any clues, Anne Sargent, as to how Fremantle might dismantle Melbourne?
Well, they're going to have their work cut out for them. Melbourne is a very slick lineup, playing in great form early days in the season. I think the key for Fremantle is they're going to play to the advantage with Michelle Dixon. That's obvious. She's tall and they're going to use that height. So the key for them is to cherish possession, and they're going to need big games from Kylie Daru and from Kylie Chamberlain across that transverse line to really organise the attack line. Hard to see them coming through with the goods, so I think Melbourne just too classy in all departments.
Well, there's more youth than experience in this Melbourne lineup, but no one's complaining, least of all coach Norma Plummer. Southby gets a rest first up, and so Bryant and Arnott are the targets for the feeders. Megan Fleiner and Michelle Bennison know how to get it to them, and the back three of McInnes, Taverner and Jenke know all about intercepts and rebounds. 5 of the 7 are under 25. Defender Liz Taverner underlines the great depth of Australian netball. She'd be in the starting 7 anywhere else in the world and may not be far off the national honours she seeks here. Not as tall as some at 179 centimetres. Her aerial skills and anticipation are matched by few. Kylie Chamberlain and Michelle Dixon are both over 180 centimetres, Michelle considerably taller, and they could capitalise on that if the right kind of possession is forthcoming from Daru and Senor. It's the Fremantle defence that will be under the hammer. A big test tonight for the back three of Cummins, Moonshao and Ironmonger. Elsma Murillo will call the shots from the bench. A real boost for WA netball and this competition that Sally Ironmonger is back mixing it at this level. She played for Australia in '87 at the World Tournament in Glasgow at the age of 19. Her defence over the ball and strong rebounding are crucial to Fremantle's campaign. Melbourne are in the darker of the two blues, in possession. Jenke, McInnes. Now, with this change to Melbourne lineup, it's going to be very interesting to see